Hey guys, it's Hans from Hans's Gaming Network. I'm back today showing you part 2 of the FiveM server build. So on today's video we are going to be doing things like adding menus, and I'm going to give you guys an assets file. This assets file is going to help adding like ymaps to your server much easier. I just find this application so much easier than actually creating these folders. So I'm going to teach you how to create these folders in your directory, how to add them into your server.cfg really organized. So let's head over to our file explorer. I dragged it over here, guys. We're going to head over to our server folder that we created. I'm going to be in tutorial build. So we're going to head into server data, head into resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new folder. First, I'm going to be doing a utility. Utility is a folder that I usually put all my menus, all of my resource script add-ons in, and it just makes organization simple. When you make a folder in your resources folder, it needs to have brackets around it because you are not running this folder. You're just simply creating a space for other things. So I'm going to put the link for this in the description, but we're going to download vMenu by Tom Grobe. So scroll on down here, and we're going to download the vMenu zip file. We're going to open it up in WinRAR. I'll have the link for that in the description. So in utility, we're going to right click, new, folder. We're going to name this vMenu, and this is case sensitive, guys. This is one of the best menus out there for FiveM, so that's why I'm showing it to you guys. So after you make this folder for vMenu, you're going to open it. You're going to drag and drop all of the files from Tom Grobe's. And what we're going to do now is very crucial, and you need to do this for vMenu to work. So you're going to go into your config, you're going to click the permissions.cfg, and drag that back to the server data folder. See, now it's with my server.cfg and the readmes and stuff. So we're going to go into our server.cfg, click enter twice on line 1. In the new line 1, we're going to type exec, which is execute. We're going to do permissions.cfg. The reason we're doing this is we're basically just telling the server to execute these permissions, and I can make a future video on these permissions if I get enough comments or interest in it. So we can close out of our server.cfg now. Now we're going to head back to our utility folder. So now that vMenu is installed, vMenu is completely installed. So the next link we're going to head over to, it's going to be the assets folder. This is going to be a Google Drive link. So after you open this up, you're just going to click the download. It's going to download as a zip. We're going to open that up in WinRAR. And then in our utility folder, we're going to do assets. We're going to drag and drop this. So in our assets folder, you're going to find a bunch of resource metas and luas and stuff. We're not going to touch these, but we're going to go into our stream, and we're going to, where it says maps. Maps is where we're going to add our .ymap files. MLOs are going to be a separate folder in your utilities tab. But so I'm just going to head back to utility now. We're going to rename the assets folder ymaps. That's what I found that works the best. So that's what I use. So we can close out of that link now. So we're going to head back to the server data. We're going to do server.cfg. So these hashes do not run lines. So since we created a new utility folder, we're going to enter twice. So you have a space between. We're going to have a hash. We're going to type in utility, and then another hash, and then go down. You're going to want to make sure and see what your server uses. In my case, it's ensure. Sometimes it can be start. So we're going to type ensure vMenu. Make sure it's case sensitive. Ensure ymaps. So anytime you add in a resource, you're going to have to add it into your utility or into this to get it to run. So if you notice that you drag and drop something and it's not working, it's most likely because you didn't add it into your server.cfg to run. So I'm just going to test run this. I'm going to start this, and we're going to see if the new resources are found. So let's just scroll up here a little bit. New resources. As you can see, it started resource vMenu and started resource ymaps. So that's good. So I can quit this now. And if it doesn't quit, guys, you can just click the X. Alright, so that's basically the basics of adding in scripts and add-ons to FiveM. So basically any file that you find on GTA5mods.com, lspdfr, it's all, you just download them, open the zips, drag and drop the files, make sure that they're not double foldered, and if they are, just double click into that folder and drag them in. But you just got to make sure you start everything. So in our resources right now, we're going to create a new folder. So it's going to be bracket civ cars in my case. A new bracket, we're going to do police cars bracket. So I just created 2 new ones, so we're going to have to go back to our server.cfg, and we're going to have to enter civ cars, enter police cars. So what we're doing here is basically just creating our new places to be like, let me find a car for you guys. So okay, so I have a Subaru WRX STI, so I'm going to go into my police cars. I'm going to drag and drop the WRX. Since this WRX, you got to make sure that your cars have a stream and at least 3 of these. It's going to be resource, car calls, car variations meta, and vehicles meta. You don't need to touch those unless if you know what you're doing for vehicle editing. And in your stream, this is what's going to be in your spawn code. So we're going to head back here. The folder name is WRX STI. So underneath police cars, I'm going to do ensure WRX STI, save, and now my car should be in game. And we can actually go test that out. I'm going to go test that out with you guys. So we're going to start our server. Our server's starting up. Open FiveM. Localhost is what we're going to click on. Now we're just going to be loading into our game here. First time loading into your server is going to be a little longer, just because of you downloading all the resources that are in your server. The more resources you have, the longer it's going to take. I can do a future video on optimization of your server. It's a little bit more difficult to do with vehicles, less difficult to do with scripts. Scripting's really simple. My assets folder really helps out the optimization of ymaps. So as this loads in, vMenu on your keyboard is going to be the keybind M. After you click the keybind M, it's going to pull up a menu, and I will show you that. There's going to be different menus to pick from. For vehicles, player appearance, miss settings, which is going to have your developer tools, your teleportation. Okay, so now that we're in game, M is going to pull up our vMenu. This is what our vMenu looks like. So since I added a car, I'm going to go to vehicle options, vehicle spawner, spawn vehicle by model name. The model name is that stream folder name, not the word stream, but the words in that stream folder. So in this case, it's going to be WRXP, because that's what's in the folder. And now I have my car that I added in. It's got my police car with my lights. Alright guys. So now that we have that added in, we know that our server's working. I just closed out of my server. Clear the cache every once in a while just because it's going to help things run smoother. Other than that, guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure you turn on that bell for future parts of this series. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.